Now that the JMeter distributed environment has been deployed using Docker Compose, so let's run the tests, JMeter tests. So before we run the JMeter tests, let's go through the configuration properties file, which will be used um, to inject the properties inside the JMeter tests. So we will use a local Docker Compose dev.properties file. So if you see that these are the test plan properties, these are the properties which will be used to send the test matrix into InfluxDB, so test.name and test.runID. These are the properties related to API, which will be tested, so http bin.org. Then the properties are related to Redis database. So redis.host is Redis. So we deployed the Redis service with the name Redis. So if you see the docker compose.yaml file, the Redis can be accessed using the name Redis service inside the JMeter Docker network. Since JMeter master container and JMeter slave containers are deployed inside the JMeter Docker network, so also the Redis container is also deployed in the JMeter Docker network. So they can communicate using the service name. So hence the redis.host is Redis and redis.port is 6379. Password, the certificate file, the key store file path inside the JMeter Docker container. Then the InfluxDB properties. So let's go through these properties first. So the host name. So in the Docker compose.yaml file, InfluxDB can be accessed with the InfluxDB name. So that's why the host name is InfluxDB. And the port is 8086 inside the JMeter Docker network. And the token, the bucket, and the organization to connect to the InfluxDB. These properties are actually related to a plugin, which is basically used for the remote testing using JMeter. So basically, what happens is when we execute the test in the distributed environment, we execute the test in JMeter master container, and then JMeter master container will basically tell the server to run the tests. So the InfluxDB backend listener in the JMeter test will always send the data from the server to the master. So InfluxDB container, instead of directly InfluxDB backend listener, instead of directly communicating to the InfluxDB, it will first communicate to the master JMeter master container, and then JMeter master container will send the matrix to the InfluxDB. So in order to send the testing matrix from JMeter slave containers to directly InfluxDB, this plugin is used. I will paste the link of this plugin, the GitHub repository for this plugin in the video description. So these properties are related to that plugin. Okay, so now that we have gone through the properties file, let's execute the test. So we will execute the test from the JMeter master. So let's SSH into the JMeter master container, and the command for that is SSH. So we are inside the JMeter master container. Now we will export the timestamp variables. These variables will be used for the report generation as well as the test result generation files. So when we executed this command of JMeter, as you can see, the remote servers here are specified with the name JMeter server 1 and JMeter server 2, because all these JMeter master, JMeter server 1 and server 2 are part of the JMeter Docker network, and it is managed by Docker Compose. Hence, JMeter master can reach JMeter server 1 and JMeter server 2 using the name instead of using the IP addresses. Let's see the log of JMeter server 1. Okay, so this test has started. This is server 2 logs. Okay, so the test has been finished, and as you can see, there are two errors, okay, in the test. So you can now access the InfluxDB dashboard, let's say, and see the test data or the testing matrix here. Also the Grafana dashboard. So you see the data generated. And for accessing the log files of the master and server, you can go to the repository directory. Inside logs folder, you can see these are the log files, which are basically copied from the containers of JMeter, and also the result file, which is generated as a CSV file in the results directory. So that's it.